welcome back, and we say good morning to our friend Mike Eppel on this Monday. How are you doing? Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Melanie. How are you?
Good, good. I always ask people how their Easter was, because a little bit different. And you said over the commercial break you did a lot of cooking, so that's always nice to hear.
I did do that. We tried to celebrate Easter as traditionally as possible, but didn't go much of any place because nobody else did either.
It's all good.
And just stayed home for the most part.
You got it. You got it. Catching up on your business news, right, Mike? There was a lot to cover.
Exactly.
Let's begin with OPEC, of course.
You know, it was actually a very busy weekend because OPEC, over the past several days, has been holding all of these video conference calls looking for a deal to cut production. And they got it done on Sunday, with Mexico finally coming on side as one of 60 countries in this historic agreement to roll back production by 9.7 million barrels per day. We're talking about 10% of global energy production on a daily basis, Melanie. And this, again, has never been seen. But what's happened over the previous month has obviously never been seen before either, where we saw the demand destruction in the energy market because nobody's driving, nobody's flying, nobody's doing much of anything. So the price for oil has cratered. And it coincided with, at the start of March, Saudi Arabia and Russia starting a price war of all things. You know, so they've pulled back from all of that. There was lots of negotiations going on. From the Canadian standpoint, we've seen the price for oil here drop to as low as $4 a barrel U.S. You know, it has just been crushed under the weight of all this. Natural Resources Minister Seamus O'Regan saying late Sunday, look, this is what we need right now. Jason Kenney saying it was OPEC that started the fire. They had to put it out, which they've done by the looks of things. And yet the price for oil this morning, it's still at $23.
Still at, hey?
It's not doing anything. Yeah, because there's no demand. So until that part of the equation stabilizes, it's still going to be incredibly low priced.
Fair, makes sense here. What a lot of people were watching, of course, on the weekend was the passing of the wage subsidy program at the federal level. We knew that was going to happen. What's next?
Well, now it has to be implemented, and companies have to take up the opportunity to get some money from the feds to pay 75% of an employee's salary. The question is, though, you know, it still has to go through the now application process. And some companies were saying we needed this money a couple of weeks ago already. So what's the take-up rate going to be? Will people be rehired? We've heard that from, Air Canada and WestJet, but I haven't heard of any other big companies that maybe have laid off staff going and saying, yeah, we're doing this as well. At the same time, however, there's also an opportunity for small business loans and grants. So that's another part of this. So there's talk as well this week. We're going to hear about rules and regulations about getting foreign workers into the country. That's already started, but it's been very slow for the farming community. There's a bunch of things that they're going to be working on, but it's again, how quickly can it be rolled out, and what type of help does it provide in the near term just to kind of weather the storm? Absolutely.
And is it enough? There's always going to be people that say it is not enough. We need more in a time like this. Okay, European markets closed today. It is Easter Monday, of course, but you're watching the rest of the numbers for us.
Yeah, and we're coming off a week, over 4 days, where the Dow Jones gained 12% and the TSX was up almost 8%. So it was one of the better weeks, certainly in recent memory. We're well off the lows. The question is, do we get into the earnings season this week, which starts tomorrow? And companies are going to be all about how bad it is, right? They're going to try to guess, the hit to their revenues and how long they figure this is all going to play out. We've already heard from Starbucks, for example, last week saying you've got 6 more months of pain from a corporate standpoint. Also this week, the Bank of Canada sets interest rates on Wednesday. They've cut rates 3 times now in the midst of the pandemic. Do they cut rates to 0%? They're at 0.25% right now.
That would be interesting.
I don't think they will, but nevertheless, they could. Why not?
You'll be watching, Mike.
Yes,
as you always do. Appreciate your time today. Have a good day as much as you can.
Okay, will do.
Take care of yourself.